Alright, hello, what's up mga parts? Ang ginaw. Ayan, ang ginaw-ginaw. Alam niyo ba kung nasaan ako ngayon? Well, nandito lang naman po kami sa Baguio City. At pag-uusapan natin ang isa pang parte ng opisina dito sa Baguio City. Ayan, at ito pang muli yung parts, Tigo.
At ako naman ang inyong parts Ken para sa Taraki Talks. Ayan. So as nabanggit nga ni paring Brendel, andito tayo ngayon actually sa Convention Center. Ayan. Kung saan pinuntahan natin ang isa sa mga sugo ng turismo.
Sugo talaga.
O diba? Kaya without further delay mga parts namin at mga kataraki, I would like to introduce muna our guest for today. Alright. Alam mo ba kung ano ang patron saint?
Hindi ako familiar actually. Yan ba yung mga statues?
Ang pagkakaalam ko naman sa patron saint, sila yung mga tagapangalaga. Ganun. Pero i-confirm natin mamaya sa ating guest ngayong araw na ito. Alright? So our guest is actually a civil engineer by profession. Ayan. And he graduated doon sa University of the Cordilleras ng civil engineering. And then after that, kumuha din siya ng master's or MS in civil engineering doon din sa same school.
Yay.
And pagkatapos niyang nag-graduate, kinuha agad siya bilang instructor.
Yay.
Grabe, no? Mabilisan lang. Pero ito ang nakakatuwa kasi nung nag-aaral pa siya, he was a working student as a dance instructor. Ayan. So that's very interesting, right? And then after naman nun, a little of private practice. So he became a technical consultant, specifically structural designer. Alright, so that's still related doon sa pagka-civil engineering niya. And then, administrative functions din doon sa University of the Cordilleras. Ayan. So, let us all welcome our guest for today, Sir Aloysius Mapalo, also known as Alec Mapalo. Good morning, Mapalo.
Hi, good morning mga ading at sa ating mga taga-panood. Good morning sa inyo lahat dyan, mga pards, mga manong, mga ading, lahat. And I'm very glad to be with you this morning and to share whatever what we can discuss about. So hopefully we can have a lot of productive discussion.
Yes, sir. Yes, o, diba? Medyo kinabahan siya.
Hindi na ako makapagpo.
Pero Manong, syempre, this is a common question din naman. So, what's a day like with Manong Alec as the tourism officer of Baguio?
Oh, syempre we'll look at the weekdays, no? Iba ang weekends eh.
Okay, let's go first.
Weekdays is our regular job day, no? We start our day 8 o'clock, no? So prior to that, ako kasi medyo a night person eh. So I sleep until I sleep late at night, sometimes 12 midnight, 1 p.m. So, medyo struggle yung aking paggising. So, I wake up 6 a.m. pero nasa bed pa rin longer than beyond 6 a.m. Nagmumuni-muni pa until 7 kung minsan and watch some news sa TV until I get up by 7 or 7:30 to prepare for work. The work office starts at 8. But Monday, we attend the flag ceremony sa City Hall. Kasi we are one of those offices na wala sa City Hall, no? Even if we're part of the city government. So I have to go there first, no, for that ceremony before I come here dito sa aming office dito sa convention. And first thing, kasi I don't really have breakfast sa bahay because no one will prepare it for me anyway. Kaya dito na lang ako sa office magko-coffee while looking now at my email. No? Usually ang titingnan ko kasi usually may mga emails na hindi pa na-attend or hindi pa na-reply. As a acknowledgement, as courtesy for those who are sending emails. So, and then the pending, my staff usually leave also the list of communications, no, that we'll need responses or directives. Yan. So, bibigyan ko na instructions bawat isa. So, that is how the morning starts, no? But many times, like every Tuesday naman, we have the MANCOM or the management committee or the executive committee, management committee of the city, which comprises of all the department heads, no, of the different offices. We have a MANCOM meeting with the mayor. So that's regular every Tuesday morning. So that's what we attend to every Tuesday naman. And other days naman, sometimes there are appointments of meetings. Ang dami namin kumisang engagement with not only with other offices, but even private groups, no, private sectors. Lately, ang marami media. No?
Media.
Media. And as a matter of fact, prior to this shoot, I had an interview with GMA also and RNG earlier. So, yan, in a week, there could be 2 or 3 times of interviews with media. Well, particularly because of amidst the pandemic, no, it's really a challenge for tourism to really recover and at the same time proceed with usual tourism activities. So we need we do a lot of adjustments. We do a lot of preparation. So yung media are always very interested on how we cope, no, in terms of tourism activities, particularly here in Baguio City. So yan, ang dami yan. Since 2 years ago, kasi yung pandemic, di ba, 2020. So ang dami. Sabi nga nila na yung mga friends ko aside from the mayor, ang lagi daw nilang nakikita sa mukha sa TV ay ako.
Well,
So,
because
supervising
Baguio is
operations.
one of the cities who was open naman kasi
Yes,
tayo
so-
yung one of the bravest city to open.
Yes, yes. So, and we cannot deny that we are still really a favorite destination of many of our tourists, no, around the Philippines. So, yun, yung media, maraming pumupunta sa office. And then after that, in between, of course, a lot of work, no. Like for example, ako kuminsan hands-on ako dun sa pagbigay ng announcements. So, nagka-craft ng video, ng infographics, and mga press releases, statements. Yeah. I give my staff some instructions with regards to that. Drawing out guidelines, I usually draft it first. No? And then we fine-tune na lang namin as a whole. Yun, yung madalas din yun, no? But what will keep us really busy, no, particularly the office, ay kung may event. No, kung may yes. Kasi our office, tourism office is in charge of all city events.
So that's including Panagbenga.
Yes, including Panagbenga, and then recently ang pinaka-last nating event, of course, yung aside from the December 1 Christmas tree lighting, and then we had the New Year's countdown, no. But earlier than that, we have the Baguio Creative Festival, no. And then coming up this March naman is Panagbenga, and we have the Montañosa Film Festival, no.
Hello po sa participants.
Kasama ba kayo doon? Oo, pwede. Gawa kayo ng Taraki na film. Di ba? Oo. And then summer, yan. Usually meron tayong mga activities din during summer. Even the civic events, no, kami ang in charge niyan. Civic events including Baguio Day, Independence Day, Rizal Day, no. So we do commemorative civic programs for the residents and for the city. Yan, ganun ka dami ang scope.
Oo nga eh.
Oo.
Paano mo? Grabe din ang pag-iba.
And most of the times, sunod-sunod pa yung mga events. Kaya medyo marami din. Oo.
How about yung weekends niyo,
Oo. Yun nga, that's, of course, most of the time, that's what I look forward to as rest. Oo. As rest. So, yung sinabi kong late riser ako, dahil doon ko nagagawa, no, I can stay in bed longer. Oo. Depende sa gimmick nung kinagabihan.
Uy,
So,
mahilig din pala sa
oo.
Friday night.
Oo naman, TGIF.
Oh, para kailangan may nightcap para, ako I see that as something that, a time when you celebrate what you've accomplished the
Yes.
whole week. Yan, yung job week, parang you relax and enjoy at least a time for yourself, diba? And your close friends. So, but if I'm just in the house, ang hilig ko lang naman sa bahay is manood ng Netflix.
Ay, wow.
Yeah, so kuminsan I can finish a whole series in one day.
Wow.
Pag walang masyadong storbo. Kasi that's one thing that I've realized also, no? As a public servant, 24/7.
Yeah, on call lagi.
On call, no? So, many of our events, no, our major activities, may nagfo-fall ng weekends din, no? So, we need to get up also during those times.
Ito nga kasi parang malapit na tayo sa February. So, kamusta naman po ang preparations natin? Magkakaroon ba tayo ng programs na
For panagbenga.
konting face-to-face for panagbenga?
Definitely, hindi pa natin kaya yung mass activities or crowd drawing activities, no? Dahil nga we would like to still have safe conduct of activities.
Alright.
So yung parade ang most likely hindi muna mangyayari, no? Definitely hindi muna mangyayari. At ang daming parades ng panagbenga usually, 'di ba? Iba pa yung opening parades, no? Iba pa yung street dance parade, iba pa yung float parade. So,
Online parades.
wala muna 'yon. But we're continuously discussing. But until this time kasi, the problem now is how to find that right timing, no? Kung kailan pwede, dahil nga unfortunately we are at the mercy of the COVID situation.
Yes.
So kung nag-surge, kailangan mag-tone down muna. Kapag bumababa na yung cases, siguro pwede na ulit. But you don't know when you don't know. So right now, siguro February, we don't have specific dates yet, no? As a matter of fact, we're looking at baka towards the end na of February, baka mga first week of March. But even then, baka hindi nga yung mga crowd drawing, no? Pockets of activities, kasi remember yung panagbenga naman, we have also garden installations, no? That I think we can still do. Landscaping na pwedeng bisitahin na one limited audience, one group at a time, no? And then yun nga, baka pwede tayo magkaroon ng online shows, no? But yun nga, baka towards first week of March, no? Kasi towards the end of March naman is the Montañosa Film Festival.
Inabangan natin.
Oo.
Ayun. O, diba? So, that's very interesting. Meron din pala tayong aabangan pa sa panagbenga.
At least it will not just die down, no?
Right, of course.
Parang, ay, wala nang panagbenga. Dalawang taon talaga inaantayin.
Oo, 2 taon na walang panagbenga.
Yes.
Pero, nagtataka lang ako sa natapos ni Manong Alec. Because it's civil engineering, right? And then suddenly, nagbalin tourism officer dito sa Baguio City.
Uy, may application yan.
So, what happened, Manong? Bakit biglang napunta ang inyong destiny sa tourism office?
Marami rin nagtataka niyan. Well, I consider, of course, civil engineering as my profession. No? I have a PRC license, no? As a civil engineer. I consider teaching as my vocation. No? So, and it worked both ways, no? Kasi I was able to teach civil engineering. Parang academe was my life already. But for 18 years.
Pero teach parang postgraduate.
Yes, at one time I taught also masters.
Yes.
Pero boring pag nagtuturo ka ng masters.
Kasi
undergrad na lang. Kasi yung pwedeng makukulit yung mga estudyante doon. No? Pag mga masters, tahimik lahat. Tapos you have only a few small. So yon, I have a profession, I have a vocation. But what everybody do not know is that culture and arts is really my passion.
Culture and arts.
Yeah. I was also, when I was younger in high school, elementary, I was also an artist doing poster making. Nag-champion ako noon sa mga inter-school poster making. There was one time I even joined a song composition competition nung high school. And so nung nasa UC ako, I was given the task also to be in charge of the culture and arts program of the university. Yeah. So when we were active, in the different, actually parang ako yung nag-revive ng culture and arts program. We kumbaga resuscitated, we revive yung mga different performing groups. Like we have the choral, and then we have an orchestra na dati wala, and
Sa
then
UC.
sa UC, yes, and then the dance company, nagkaroon pa kami ng cheerleading company squad,
Meron.
and then
Pep squad.
yes, and then yung cultural group which we call Saing Yakasay Cultural Group. So they are dedicated sa Cordilleran performances, song, dance, and etc. So sila yon lahat. And I think many of our activities kasi is also exposed sa city, sa even national or outside Baguio.
Kaya lumalaban.
Yeah.
Ang UC dati.
So and because of that, we have to organize a lot of events,
Right.
for the school, even for the community na rin. We had shows for Baguio City.
For them to perform.
So yun yung kwan din, parang nakita ko when I was invited to apply, kasi sabi mo nga kailangan mag-apply. When I was invited to apply, na I think my advantage also because I am organizing a lot of events.
Yes.
And pagdating sa events, medyo maarte ako, mabusisi.
Ay.
Yun ang tinatawag
OC.
na, medyo OC. At kahit yung mga malilit na detalye, pinapakialaman ko lahat yan. And I think I can bring that to a city level, the programs. And ang dami naman nakapansin, marami na nagbago sa mga programs ng events na rin ng city when I came in. So that was 2018. So actually, parang pa lang, 3 years. Magpo 4 years pa lang sa city government.
And unfortunately, nabutan ka talaga ng
Pandemic.
ng pandemic.
Oo, but that is when we were pushed to be more innovative.
Ayun.
Oo.
Tama.
So how was tourism ng Baguio before Omicron? No, yes.
Or before the pandemic, and then after pandemic, yun ang talagang malaking challenge, kasi of course we know our functions as tourism officers before the pandemic to promote the city and manage tourism influx, active and also activities. Yun yung basic role mo and that can happen kapag nakikita mo na the tourists are satisfied with whenever they come here. Siyempre, pag may mga complaints, you have to also address that, di ba? So, yun yung mga trabaho noon. And when pandemic came, there are no tourists. So anong trabaho namin, di ba?
Medyo naglalari.
So pwedeng mag-relax. So pwedeng
mag-relax.
so pwedeng muna mag-chill every day, but yun nga, tourism at the end of the day is really about economy. The reason why we are promoting tourism is for the community to have opportunities for economic activities as well, for livelihood, for employment, And yun na nga, it is recognized everywhere, even at the national, na Baguio City is really heavily relying on tourism. Many livelihoods, directly or indirectly, pati nga taxi, pati jeep, di ba? Nawalan sila ng pasahero nung walang turismo, market itself, the city market is very popular among tourists. So sila rin nabawasan ng mga practitioners nila, restaurants natin nawala ng mga customers. So ang daming affected. So ako, ang estimate ko about 70% of our people are relying on tourists.
Grabe, yes, sir.
So imagine the loss of jobs, loss of livelihood, Tapos bawal pang lumabas, early on.
Guide lahat.
Oo. Kaya ang challenge doon is how to recover or how to restart safely. Paano kaya magkaroon pa rin ng tourism pero pwede sigurong slowly and at the same time safe
Safe pa rin
Oo,
siya.
safe pa rin siya, no? Para yun ang magiging consciousness ng lahat, not only our residents and our establishments, but also the tourists themselves.
That's right.
And I am proud to say, no, na that Baguio was one of the pioneer in restarting tourism. As a matter of fact, in-announce ni Secretary Berna dito mismo yung pag-restart ng domestic tourism around the Philippines.
Yeah.
That was in September. So dito tayo ang pinakauna, no, na nag-allow ng tourism. That is way back September 2020. So it's the first year pa lang yun, no? And of course, to do that, you have to be innovative in a sense on how you can regulate. Hindi pwede kasi gaya ng dati, no? Dahil biglang dadagsa ulit lahat, no? Open lahat. Mahirap 'yon, no? Lalo na ang Baguio is very open, very accessible. Yung mga expressways natin already allowed very quick access to the city, no? Even those coming from the lowlands, ang bilis. So we cannot afford to do that, no? So how to regulate and then how to prepare yung mga hotels na they follow the protocols, they have their own health standards that they will have to keep. So lahat yan, we will have to set it as part of the guidelines. We inspected all the hotels. Binibigyan namin ng safety seal lately, but before yung certificate of compliance, no? And hindi lang one time. So that is being monitored on a regular basis until now. So parang this is the second year, pang third year na ngayon, 2022, no? Until now, siyempre tinitingnan mo how it works. And if you need to adjust things here and there, adjust na naman. And these adjustments or this type of restarting tourism or conducting tourism activities is never the same as how we did it before.
Yes.
So we are doing things for the first time. And definitely, if you're doing anything for the first time, it's not yet perfect at the first time, di ba? So, yeah, so you need to improve continuously.
True.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Ang ano nga lang ano yung experience niyo na unforgettable or memorable nung time ng pandemic where you start to open?
Yeah, na hindi niyo makakalimutan.
Yes.
Ano nga ba? Yun siguro, nung nag-restart, kasi it's a major national news back then. And yun nga sabi ko, after that, ang dami ng mga interviews and all, no? It came to a point, sabi nga nila, naging kilala na yung mukha ko sa TV because of that. Kasi, yun na nga, as early as April, nag-iisip na kami kung paano mag-restart, no? Nag-draft pa nga kami ng, how do we call this? Tourism Recovery and Resiliency Plan. So that's as early as April of 2020. So, we thought that it's just one of those initiatives. Pero it became really memorable when we presented it to the Secretary of Tourism, Secretary Berna Puyat, nationally via Zoom. Yan. So, hi, Sec. Yan. Oo. Kaya naging friends kami ni Sec, naging kasama na ako sa kanyang gift list every Christmas. And not only her, no, during that Zoom meeting, we are also with the Tourism Promotions Board, yung COO Antoinette Velasco. Aliones is also there, and many of the undersecretaries. So nasa Zoom, and I was actually caught on the spot kasi I didn't know na kompleto sila. And I need to present our plan. So medyo kinakabahan ka, syempre, kasi it's the first time that you are presenting something like that. And I was just so happy that they were so impressed and even declared at that time na this is the first time that we've seen a recovery plan.
Yeah.
And after that, si Secretary mismo humingi ng kopya and she distributed to all LGUs around the Philippines. So it became a model.
Parang yun na ang
Oo.
gagamitin.
Yun na yung template.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, of course, the other LGUs medyo hirap no kung how to implement.
Yes.
But kami kasi we have a sort of a game plan no,
Correct.
on how to conduct it. And what's nice is because of that, medyo na-impress naman, natuwa naman ako. We were naman dito sa city with the mayor, city admin, and private stakeholders, representatives.
So nag-usap
Oo,
na talaga lahat.
kasama namin sila. And because of that, they committed support. No? So, they gave us financial support. May budget na binigay ang TPB so we can develop the Baguio Visita.
Oh, yes.
So, this registration system of ours is actually funded by TPB, DOT. And then, tuloy-tuloy yung support, even yung vaccination ng ating tourism frontliners. Nagbigay ang TPB din ng free antigen kits para sa mga turista.
So, parang lahat ng taong pumapasok dito, they
Parang subsidized. Yeah, may subsidized na test. Kaya nakita natin even nationally na how we were able to progress from there, no?
Yes.
Talagang may dumarating na turista, slowly nga lang, no? Nag-peak nga lang noong December last year, no?
And then pwede pa lang
At pwede pala, pwedeng mangyari as long as you have set your standards and your plans. And then with the support of the community na rin.
Of course.
Kasi lalo na yung health office is very supportive. And our health sector, even the private, we have a group no, where we exchange suggestions, comments. Kasi ano yan this is what I saw in other LGUs. Kung minsan nag-aaway ang business tsaka health sector. No?
Pero dito?
Dito, very collegial, no? Nag-cooperative. And we compromise.
Right.
Yan ang importante, di ba?
As long as
You meet halfway.
Good communication din.
Yeah, good communication. Kasi nga, this is nga the difficult thing that has to be done during the pandemic, how to balance economy and health.
Yes.
And I think Baguio City, with the leadership of our mayor, talagang naman.
So for
na-achieve
now,
natin.
with the presence naman ng Omicron, is Baguio still open for tourists?
Yes. Actually, we're very open. We did not stop, no? Unfortunately, of course, our tourists medyo mas magiging cautious. Kaya hindi ganun kalaki na yung pumapasok. And at the same time, because nga nagkaroon ng mga alert levels higher like NCR, Bulacan, early on sa January. So we added additional requirement, no? So nung December kasi tayo, all you have to be is that you are fully vaccinated, then you can go to Baguio. Pagdating ng Omicron ng January, additional test is required. And because of that, that's additional expense. And of course, yung mga nasa budgeted na travelers, medyo dagdag, cut muna. Kaya hindi ganun karaming pumapasok. But it's still allowed.
Right. Pero one thing, no, if Baguio City is open sa tourism nila, of course, pati na rin ang Trinidad, di ba, nadadamay na rin yung, I mean, nag-increase na rin doon sa ibang places, right?
But the problem is they have not officially declared
Yun lang.
that they are open.
Yan kasi ang ano kasi dito lalo na sa mga nasa ibang lugar, pag Baguio, lahat na ng dyan, Baguio na.
Baguio City. Baguio na lahat.
Nadamay ng ibang mga municipalities.
Yeah, they call, especially the Bliss.
Yes.
They sometimes they call it Metro Baguio.
I get it.
Metro Baguio pala.
But yung mga turista, they can register through visita.com.
Yes. Visita.baguio.gov.ph kasi it's an official government website.
Nancy.gov.
List din talaga ng game plan mo, sir.
Nakakabilib naman yun. Di ba? That it's possible to open even with this kind of problem. As long as there is restriction.
And kudos naman talaga because this is the first na tourism office to initiate na mag-open and have this recovery plan.
Yeah.
And the unity of different offices.
Yes.
Oo, yeah.
Taraki. Doon natin makikita ang kataraki ni
Taraki ang buong Baguio.
Oo.
Yeah.
Yes, naman.
Ayun. But Manong, aside from that, have you ever had any issues regarding the opening of tourism dito?
Marami, syempre, no?
Pero how do you manage those
Oo,
issues?
yun na, communications also is key. Kaya nga, ako naman, even if I am, I'm typically shy. But in spite of that, nga, I have to sometimes be in the public consciousness to relay what is happening in Baguio City para alam ng lahat. But the most important issue na kailangan regularly naming nire-resolve is yun nga, whether magbabawas ba ng tourist, magdadagdag, magbabawas, We're very flexible and adaptive. We adapt according to the situation. So regularly we consult with our health sector. No? Meron tayong City Health Office. Actually, nung nag-start tayo nung September 2020, yun yung pinaka-ano ko noon hindi talaga fear. Medyo kinakabahan ako to present to the health sector yung aming plan to reopen because I am fully aware that they are the ones who are against.
Yes.
So, I'm para opening myself to a lion's den. And I was aware that they are ready to oppose our plan. No? And, Mayor was there also during that consultation meeting.
Yes.
And we presented naman both sides, no? Kaya nga sabi ko, at the end of the day, it's just about how to balance.
Yes.
And somehow you find that halfway compromise, but not necessarily compromise to a sense na may dehado. Kasi yun yung pangit, no? So parang meron ka laging, may compromise pero may leeway, no, of how to adjust. Kung sakaling pumunta sa dehado na situation, you have to adjust, no? So things like those, yun naman na napag-usapan doon. It was really kind of tricky for me and for the business sector as well. But I stood there as kind of the spokesperson of the tourism industry and the business establishments. So even in social media, actually, I was attacked, by a lot of bashers and trolls and all with pertaining to our plan to reopen nung as early as 2022. Even as now, nung nag-Omicron, sabi ko we're not closing. Kasi nga nagkaroon ng false headlines by some media na Baguio is closing its border again, parang ganon. Because of the Omicron, sabi ko, we did not close. We just limited lang, no? We reduce yung allowed number. So, ang dami rin nag-react na naman doon, ng mga bashers na... Yeah, but I'm thankful to them. No?
Of course.
Kasi somehow nagkakaroon ng awareness and consciousness na meron palang ganitong usapin.
Exactly.
Kasi maganda na the public are engaged and the public are aware. And there are some comments in social media that are actually valid. It's just a matter of being open-minded about it.
Yes.
Pag ikaw ay masyadong apektado
Wala nang
sa
mangyayari.
negative, sa mga negative comments, you will not be productive anymore, no? Depressed ka na lang. But sometimes kahit nakaaway mo sila, pero you will see they have arguments that are actually valid. No, you consider that and then you think of how to integrate it as part of your guidelines, as part of your implementation.
Nasabi niyo kanina, there's limitation of tourists coming inside Baguio.
Yeah. Right now, kaya nga tayo may registration, no? Para makita pa lang natin bago sila umakyat how many numbers are interested to come. And so like right now, actually nung Christmas we started with we have 5,000 limit nung Christmas, and but then with that limit nagko-complain pa rin ng business establishments, no? Kasi
Kulang.
Typically during Christmas we can reach up to 10,000 a day na tourists. So sabi ng mga hotels, hindi kami magkakaroon lahat ng guests kasi first come, first serve. No? So parang, sa dami ng hotel, sa dami na. So we came up with a scheme na matulungan din sila by allowing them to allow guests na more than the limit as long as you can triage. So pag sila ay kaya na nila mag-triage ng sarili nilang guests. And tinulungan namin sila how to set up their own triage. So actually, yung limit na 5,000, we were allowing more than that. Because of those hotels na may sariling triage. And that is why yung December, lahat sinasabi, may limit naman, pero bakit ang dami-dami? Because nga, we allowed more than 5,000. And these are the tourists who are checked in do sa mga hotels na may triage. Kaya more sa 5,000. And even now, it's still like that. No? It is only unfortunate na the tourists themselves, sila muna yung nag-cancel. Sila muna yung nag-rebook because nga sila, iniisip din nila na hindi pa siguro talaga safe and they will wait for that time. Pero kanina lang, ang dami na ulit interested to register. Kasi alert level 2 ng NCR eh.
Ayun,
Bumaba na sila. So pwede na sila umakyat ulit.
Dito.
Dito.
Following pa rin.
Welcome sa inyo.
Following yung restrictions and all. Protocols pala, sorry.
Yes.
Ayan.
Huling hirit na lang po, Manong, mga advice natin sa mga tao ng Baguio. And of course, those who are visiting Baguio as well. Sa ating residents and mga locals, I know ito ang masaklap din, no? Because many of our locals and residents, and medyo it came to a point na antagonistic na sila sa tourists. You know, kayo rin siguro na-experience yun before, no? Ano kaya na yung mga turista, umalis na tayo dito. No? Nandiyan na naman sila, wag na tayong lumabas. Ayan.
May ganun din.
Ay, nangkin na nila ang Baguio kung hindi na natin na-enjoy. Ayan, yung mga ganyan, which is, you know, it's not a good way of having tourism. Because I would like to believe that tourism must be inclusive, wherein the whole community is enjoying it and the whole community is partakes, no, with how it should be managed and how it should be implemented. And hopefully this pandemic gave us that chance to start reviewing and have another look at how we implement tourism here in Baguio City. And we've seen kasi how many establishments nagsuffer din, no? That is why what I am advocating now is we should start really be serious moving forward to responsible and sustainable tourism. No? And part of having a sustainable tourism is when the tourists are responsible enough also to respect the locality. No? And if you see that among tourists, masaya din yung residents. Di ba? Bakit antagonistic ang mga residents? Kasi feeling nila mga turista bastos na. No? Feeling nila mga turista nagdudumi, which happened.
Yes.
Nangyari din talaga. Pero, you know, during this pandemic, somehow I've seen, I would like to believe we were able to attract the more disciplined tourists. Mukhang nakita natin na mas discipline na yung umaakyat. And sana magtuloy-tuloy to. And I am seeking for the help of the community, the local residents, to also advocate this and be vigilant about it also. You help somehow educate our tourists and visitors how to behave in Baguio City. Yan. Hindi yung iiwanan natin sila sa ere, parang gano'n, no? So it's going to be a work between and among the stakeholders, pati na rin yung mga residents natin. And that call will also be the same for the tourists. Of course, sabi ko nga, I think we were able to attract. Kasi why we were able to attract, no? Kasi ang daming requirements, daming protocols. Sino magtsatsaga ng mga dadaan sa mga yan? Kundi yung disiplinado. Alam mong sumunod sa rules, alam mong sumunod sa mga patakaran. So sila yung nagtiyaga talaga, nag-register, dumaan sa triage, nag-book. So sila yung mga unang dumating, di ba? Yung mga dati-rating isang katerba sila sa jeep, no? Tapos nagpark lang sa Burnham, nagluto doon. Yung pinaglutuan tinapon doon. And worse, wala silang ginastos. Kasi that's what tourism is about. You attract tourists because you know that they will help in the economy.
Yeah.
If a visitor is not helping in the economy, you're not a tourist. You know, you're destroying our resources. You're destroying our parks. You're destroying our environment. Diba? So kung ganun ka klaseng bisita, hindi ka welcome.
Taraki mga parts.
You should contribute.
Unfortunately, if I have to say it that way and be frank about it, yun talaga, ayaw namin ng mga bisita na irresponsible.
Yes.
Hindi sumusunod sa traffic, hindi sumusunod sa, traffic rules, no? Na-experience kasi natin yun, kaya maraming galit sa turista.
Actually.
Pero now, yan nga, we're moving forward to advocating responsible and sustainable tourism, and hopefully everybody will be towards that same direction.
Yes naman. Mga parts, mga kataraki natin, narinig po ang advice nating tourism officer. So, we have to follow din talaga yung strict rules and regulation ng Baguio City when it comes to tourism, right?
Yes. O ngayon naman, parts, since nakapagbigay na siya advice to the locals and to the tourists, ngayon naman as a civil engineer.
Yes.
Nakalimutan ko na ata na engineer pala ako.
Sorry naman.
Yes,
Yeah, but
ano po ang ma-advise natin sa mga young
Tama.
generations who are making careers?
you know,
in civil?
hindi ko rin ako makalimutan because I was also 2 years president of the Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers of Baguio chapter. And I am teaching civil engineering. So sabi nga nila pag tinuturo mo, hindi mo makakalimutan, di ba?
Tama.
So yun yung aking attachment pa rin sa aking profession na civil engineering. You know, since I am a teacher, so ang na-encounter ko talaga are the students somehow who were not, hindi ko alam kung bakit sila biglang civil engineering ang gustong course or engineering in general na parang suntok sa buwan, di ba? Hindi nila alam how to prepare themselves for such a course or a profession. Or siguro talagang highly ambitious, which is why not? Pwede naman, di ba? Sabi ko nga sa mga estudyante, masyado kasi kayo ambisyoso bagsak na bagsak naman sa math, pero engineering ang course. Pero ito yung na-realize ko, no? It's not about how adept you are in mathematics. Hindi about how matalino. Sabi nga nila, dapat matalino ka pag nag-engineering.
Okay.
Oo. Pero hindi kasi ang dami ko nakitang successful engineers who are not necessarily the top-notchers, who are not necessarily the valedictorian during high school, pero ang tiyaga, the willingness is there. And just like any profession, hindi lang naman sa engineering, no? If your heart is in it, tapos nasa consciousness mo siya every day of your life.
Right.
Like for example, engineering talaga, marami dyan nagko-compute ka, no? Pag nagko-compute ka lang dahil inutusan ka ng teacher mo, wala, parang ano ka lang, you go by the pace, no? So pwede kang hindi sumunod, so bagsak. Pero if you have this initiative, mag-compute ka pa rin kahit hindi na ka na inutusan, di ba? Oo, mag-practice ka pa rin. Kahit hindi, you know, I am one kind of instructor noon, like ko sinasabi sa mga klase ko. I'm sure if there are some audience there, mga taraki na engineer na ngayon, baka maalala nila, I am one instructor who is not fond of giving assignments. Kasi unang-una magkokopyahan din lang naman sila.
Tama naman din yun.
Oo, na wala silang matutunan. I would rather see how they will force themselves to give their own assignment to themselves.
And to learn by themselves.
Oo, learn by themselves. At makikita ko yon pagdating na nila sa classroom. Siyempre sa classroom, may do recitation, merong ano tawag dito? Board work at I don't announce quiz.
Surprise!
Oo, so biglang may quiz. That is when you know if they are actually preparing themselves on a daily basis with or without assignments. So I think that can also become one good lesson even after you become or after you graduated, di ba? You will become great with your profession, whether engineer or kapag every day you learn and enhance your skills further. Because you cannot learning never stops after graduation. You will have to learn a lot more afterwards. So sa school pa lang, yun ang tinitrain ko na sa mga estudyante pa lang. Hindi dahil forced ka na magkaroon ng 75. But because you want to learn, you are willing to enhance whatever knowledge you have. Yeah. And once na-inculcate mo na yan, pagdating mo na sa profession, ginagawa mo na yan. Kahit na Kaya, I was asked one time by high schools. Tinanong ako, sir, oo, kasi nag-ano din ako ano tawag dito, parang professional consultation sa mga high schools. Kumbaga kung ano ang gusto nilang course. Yan. So lagi nilang tinatanong yan, grade 12, na, sir, ano yung pinakamagandang course? Yan. Para daw mas mabilis yumaman. Diba? Diba? Interesting na question, diba? Tapos sabi ko nga, hindi yan sa course. Lahat ng course, lahat ng tao, kahit na anong natapos, pwedeng yumaman. No, it is going to depend on how you will practice that profession, how you will be good in that profession. Diba? Kung kukuha ka ng course na hindi mo naman talaga gusto, baka hindi mo rin lang matatapos, hindi mo mapapractice ng tama.
Hindi kaya yaman.
Hindi kaya yaman.
Sayang naman.
Pag kumuha ka ng course na talagang gustong-gusto mo siya and you will really elevate your skills with that course, makikita ng tao yan. Di ba? Kahit na anong course pa yan. At syempre, pag nakita na nila how you are good at it, di mas marami kang customer, yayaman ka.
Trabaho ang hahanap sa'yo.
Trabaho ang hahanap sa'yo.
Yes.
So pagka-academe pa rin yung yung aking pagka-civil engineer.
Pero sa mga estudyanteng nakikinig ngayong araw na to, no? 'Di ba? Those words of wisdom na talagang magagamit kasi kung minsan nga naman babara-bara pag-enroll.
Yes.
Yung friend ko nag-enroll ako dito.
Oo nga. Nasisway sa peer pressure.
Or sometimes kasi magulang din.
Sinabi ng magulang.
Yun din. Family. Ay, lahat sila lawyer. Nandun din ako. Well,
Anyway.
thank you so much, Sir Bo. Ay, maglaro na tayo.
Oo nga. Bilisan natin yung 5 words natin. may palaro tayo ngayon, man.
Oo, kasi magbe-break na si Sir.
Baka may nagre-ring na eh.
Okay, 5 words.
Yes.
Ready to do tayo naman.
I hope so. Sige nga.
First word natin.
Okay, let's start with the first word, Baguio.
Breathe Baguio. Yun nga, sabi ko, it's a favorite destination, no? But now we would like our visitors and tourists to see Baguio beyond the cold weather, no? Beyond the attractions, beyond the sights, beyond the pine trees. Although of course, alam na natin na yun ang gustong puntahan din. Because when you go to Baguio, you feel like you become a better person. You know, but not only your physically, kasi nga sabi nila this is a wellness place, no? But holistic, your body, mind, and spirit will become better when you visit Baguio.
Next word naman natin is time.
Time, nako, you cannot bring back time. You cannot, and therefore you cannot afford to waste time. Whatever wasted time, you cannot get it back. You cannot, parang words yan. Pag nasabi mo na, hindi mo na may babalik sa bunganga mo. So, it is always best that you take your time as something that should help yourself. Yeah.
Why?
Third word?
Okay, third word, ballpen.
Ballpen. Hindi na ako, and to tell you frankly, hindi, nagsasign na lang ako sa ballpen. Ginagamit ko na, meron na electronic signature ngayon, di ba? But for some reason, pag nag-take notes na ako, it's always laptop or gadgets. Oo, so medyo na-extinct na sa akin ng ballpen. But I still have a lot of pens because of signing and signature, signing documents.
That's right.
Ewan ko, siguro it's the technical person in me as an engineer. So medyo din ako sa mga gadgets. So pag may ideas na pumapasok, yan lagi kong pinapasok sa mga gadgets ko sa phone. I take picture, I take note using phones. So that's the substitute na of my ball pen.
Alright, anyway, parts natin. Fourth word naman natin is communication.
Communication. Yun nga yung sabi ko. Don't you know also that one of my administrative function is UC as corporate communications officer? And that is when I realized how important it is, how to convey your ideas and thoughts effectively. Because it can define or it can undefine you, no? It's talagang yan eh. It can make or destroy you. So be careful of what you say. Think before click. Think before you speak.
Ayan.
Finally,
Taraki.
Taraki. To tell you honestly, the first time I heard that, ang na-associate ko sa kanya is guwapo.
Ay!
Oo. Kaya sabi ko, itong Taraki TV, baka yung mga host guwapo.
Daya naman. Hindi daw yan.
Hindi, but
kumusta naman,
but that's the first understanding that I have when I've heard the word Taraki. Until it evolved, di ba? Kaya nga sabi ko, well, it means a lot of things pala.
Yes, that's right.
Kaya nga sabi ko,
it means a lot of things.
oo, hindi necessarily ka. No. Hindi, joke lang. But really, it di ba? This time it defined what is the best of in a person, and that best in a person is able to influence the community and other people. So, Taraki tayo amin.
Yo! Direct Taraki ka rin. Anyway, thank you very much, Manong Alec, for sharing your thoughts regarding tourism and of course your profession, which is civil engineering, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure our mga parts and mga kataraki dyan na nanonood, they've learned a lot for today's segment.
Yes. Ayan. So maraming salamat po. Keep on liking and sending your comments and share this page, Taraki TV. And thank you also for EM Avila Law Office for this episode.
Right.
Right.
Manong, we would like you to plug na rin your Facebook, anything, activities.
And
Yeah,
the
for-
YouTube account.
Yeah, for tourism announcements, we have our official FB page, Baguio Tourism in Facebook. We also have Baguio Creative City for culture and arts announcements. And we are coming up with our regular blogs. Just try to search for Baguio Travel Tips.
Ayun, maganda yun. Baguio Travel Tips. Any more, Manong?
Yun lang.
Yun.
Yeah.
Kala ko may vlog ka na rin po eh.
And they can visit you here in your office too.
Yes. We're open Monday to Friday, 8 to 5.
Yes. Book an appointment po ha. Wag basta
Basta.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. That's it, mga parts. That has been Taraki Talks. I'm your parts Digo.
And I am your parts Ken. Bye! See you again next time.